All right, so November just wrapped up. We did a little bit around $200,000 in sales, $50,000 in profit. First off, I just want to say I'm extremely blessed, extremely grateful for the position that I'm in and everything. And I don't make any of these videos obviously to brag or anything like that, but I make these videos to inspire and motivate people because that is what kept me going. Seeing videos like this is when I wanted to quit, knowing there was other 20, 21 year olds, 22-year olds making 10, 20, 30K, 50K a month. So it made me realize, it was possible. And I'm here to tell you, is like living proof, like, bro, that shit is possible. Because there was a point in time where I was just trying to make 10K a month and it seemed so difficult to me, and I was just like, bro, like, is this shit ever gonna work out? Am I ever gonna make this work? How are all these other kids doing it? And I'm trying to tell you, bro, there was a point in time where I was in your exact same position. If you're a kid trying to make money online, where you're stuck wondering, am I ever gonna make it, or is it working? And let me just tell y'all, bro, 7 months ago, literally 7 months ago, I was an exact opposite version of myself. I was a degenerate. I was going out on the weekdays, on the weekends, like going out and drinking on Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Thursdays. I was waking up late. I wasn't going to the gym. I was lazy, waking up at 12 p.m., eating junk food. No, I was on all bullshit. And 7 months later, I'm a completely different version of myself. I don't do any of that anymore. Like, rarely. I now focus on myself, my goals. I prioritize getting better and literally went from zero broke degenerate to 70K or 50K in 7 months. So let me just tell y'all a little bit about what goes into this, because obviously it's not easy, but I will say that the one thing that definitely changed everything was having a sense of urgency, having a deadline, and knowing I had to make this shit work. So I've been trying to do online business for years, bro, like 2 years. I never hit my first 10K month until this one thing. So I went to college for basically to play basketball. I didn't really care about school. I only went to school to play basketball. But by the time my senior year came around, I didn't really want to play basketball anymore overseas. I didn't really care about basketball as much as I used to. So I was like, fuck, like I just went to school for no reason. And I've been trying to do online business. Nothing was working for years. So I'm like, I'm about to graduate, not about to play basketball, and I'm about to have to get a bullshit job that I don't want to do. And me personally, like, I cannot work a job. Like, there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 if you're trying to take that 9 to 5 money and fund it to do a side hustle and everything. But I was not trying to get into a career and do some bullshit job that I want to do. And you have to understand, bro, there are two different motivators in life. The motivator where you're striving to live a life that you really want to live and strive to achieve things that you desire, like the cars, the fancy lifestyle, the boat, the house, the apartment, whatever it is that you want. Or the other motivator is you're running away from a life that you really do not want to live. You're running away from, you don't want a 9 to 5, you don't want an average life, you don't want an average physique. You don't want these average things. Like, you don't want to be like anybody average. And that is my biggest motivator, is I cannot, like, I'm running away from that life. And I'll tell you why, is because there was a point in time, this literally, like, thinking about this literally scares me, or like, I hate this feeling, is my first year trying to online business, I lost $10,000, which was all of my money, like, was literally my entire bank account, in the span of like 7 months, trying to invest in mentorships, trying to do ads, trying to figure this shit out. And there was a point I went from having 10,000 to $140 in my bank account at the beginning of 2024, which is wasn't that long ago. When I tell you, bro, I had anxiety so bad I couldn't fall asleep. I was going to bed at like 2 a.m., waking up in the middle of the night like with nightmares at like 5, and I was like, fuck, bro, I can't believe this just happened. Like, it was one of the lowest times of my life. Like, it was genuinely hard as shit. And that feeling, like, I still remember that feeling of, I genuinely hated waking up. Like, when I was waking up, it was like, fuck, bro, like, I just wanted to be asleep. I just wanted, like, I literally couldn't even rest in my sleep. Like, I'm telling you, I had nightmares about this shit. So this shit was like, had anxiety bad. It was like, I was fucked up. But, you know, I continue to keep going, and obviously that's something that is going to fix it. But the whole point is, I was running away from that life, and I really just was scared of that feeling. So that was a big motivator for me. And when I graduated college, I'm like, bro, like, I have one option. Like, I don't want to get a regular job, but I need to make this shit work. So when I graduated, I was like, I'm gonna give myself 3 months. 3 months of locking in of till the end of the summer, and I have to make this shit work. Like, I have to. I was giving myself no other option but to make this shit work. I changed my diet. I started going to the gym. I wasn't hanging out with my friends. I wasn't going out on the weekends. I cut all the bullshit out. And I'm telling you, it is simply because I had the focus of making something work. I had no distractions, no bullshit. And you can't tell me, because this is something I'm gonna tell my older self, which I knew, and hopefully you're in this position, is if you go all in on something for 1 year and you make it your only focus and you cut out all the bullshit, you're telling me you won't make that shit work. Like, if you don't give yourself an option, you're telling me you won't make that shit work. That is the position I was in. It was like, bro, I'm either going to make this shit work or I'm gonna have to get some job I don't want to work. And that I literally could not do that. So I woke up every single day, changed my entire habits. And don't tell me, be like, oh, it's so easy for you because you were disciplined. Bro, I was the most undisciplined person of all time. I was getting peer pressure to going out on days I didn't want to go out, waking up late, not going to the gym. Like, I was addicted to doing bullshit. Like, I'm telling you, I was addicted to doing bullshit. So don't tell me, oh, it's hard. I get it. I know it's hard. Like, I lived that life not that long ago. And I'm telling you from experience, bro, I still have to fight the urge to go out on weekends. Like, going out on weekends is fun to me. Like, drinking, that shit is fun to me. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just being dead serious with y'all. But you have to realize that if I keep continuing to do this, I'm not going to like where I'm at a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. Which is why I just simply gave myself 3 months, like, fuck, I have to make this shit work. I wasn't really hanging out with my friends. I stopped going out. I started doing everything I needed to do and just focus on myself. And I'm telling you, if you just cut out all the bullshit, cut out all the distractions, and you make it your sole focus, one goal to achieve one thing, you will make that shit work. As long as you don't give up, as long as you stay consistent and you stay disciplined with your routine, and don't get distracted, bro. Do not get distracted. That is the biggest thing. The reason it took me so long to hit 10K a month was because I had so many bullshit distractions. Like, school was a distraction for one. Basketball was a distraction towards my goal of making 10K a month. I had all these things. Like, I thought I was doing enough work. And I'll tell you right now, the reason you're not hitting 10K a month is because you think you're doing enough. You have no idea how much work, how much sacrifice it takes until you get there. Like, you cannot tell someone how to make $1 million if you've never made $1 million, which is why you think you're doing enough work to get to 10K a month. You think you're doing what it takes, but you don't know what it takes until you actually do it. And I'm telling you, it takes more sacrifice, more time, more mental struggle than you can imagine. Like, you might think it's easy doing this shit, or you may not, I don't know. But I'm telling you, there are so many times, like, I actually genuinely feel bad for anybody that would have to go through the journey that I went through, because there were so many times I was just like, fuck, I just want to quit. I don't want to do this shit anymore. And I'm telling you right now, it never gets easier. Even after making 50K a month, it's like, there's still times I just genuinely don't want to work. I don't want to get up. I don't want to do anything. I would rather go do some bullshit, just fuck off, or go out on the weekends with my friends or do something. But I understand that it's not going to get me to where I want to be, so I have to stay disciplined with it. And it just comes down to, what do you want? That's just what it comes down to. But it's not going to get easier, and it's not easy by any means. So you think that, like, you, for example, which was me, is you haven't even probably started a business model. You've been thinking about doing it, and you think that's the hard part. Bro, you are so far behind if you didn't even start. The starting is hard, I'm not gonna lie. But just in general, entrepreneurship is, you're gonna go through some bullshit, bro. There's times I lost $10,000. I made $8,000 in a month, and then my shit got banned, and I lost all $8,000, which at the time was like a ton of money. And I was like, bro, like, there's so many times you're just gonna want to quit. So many days you don't want to do shit. So many times you're just like, fuck, like, I'm not trying to do this shit. This is why I say it's all about mentality. You don't get rich. You don't get in good shape because you focused on getting rich or focused on getting shape. You get rich and you get in shape and you do all these successful things by becoming the person and building the traits. You build the trait of discipline. You build the trait of consistency. You build the trait of not giving up when you want to give up. Until you can acquire those traits, you're never going to achieve the results that you want to achieve. And I'm telling you, every successful person That some people are goofy and online and not as serious. Everyone has different personalities. You know what I'm saying? There's some rich people that are like, yeah, there's dicking off, and there's some serious people like Andrew Tate and stuff, right? But I promise you, there is no successful person that didn't go through hard times and didn't have those serious moments. And you can have those good times, but I'm telling you, if you really want success, it is a lot harder than you think it is, than you perceive it is, and you need to put in more work than you think it takes. The problem is I was working 2-3 hours a day, maybe 4 hours a day, then playing video games the rest of the day, then hanging out with my friends, then going out to eat for the rest of the day. And I'm like, oh, I worked today. You know, that's good enough. I'm telling you, it is not good enough. And you only think it's good enough because you haven't hit that goal yet. Once you finally hit that goal, you'll realize, holy shit, it was actually way harder than I thought it would ever be. And it's a lot harder. But obviously, I'm extremely blessed, extremely grateful. And another thing is you need to surround yourself by people that have like-minded things. So, for example, the reason you might not be hitting 10K, 20K a month is because you think 10K is a lot of money. 10K a month is a lot of money, or you think it's really hard to achieve. So you're putting that goal on a pedestal. If you put that goal on a pedestal, it's going to make it way harder than if it was just a normal, regular day for you, a normal month for you. So in order to make that a normal month for you, you have to surround yourself by people that talk about it regularly. I'm not even kidding you, bro. I talk to people and they shit on 10K a month. Like, they would go broke if they were making 10K a month. Like, they're making 10, like my mentor makes 10 to 20K a day, and he's talking about that like, you know, he's trying to get to $1 million a month. And that's regular to him. Like, he's talking about it like it's regular. When he's talking about it like it's regular, that is like, so like, that is changing my perspective on things and making me realize what is actually possible. And this is another reason I'm making this video, is because some people shit on like talking about money or finances online. That is something that will help you because it changes your perspective. My perspective at one point was that $10,000 a month was a lot because, you know, it seemed like a lot. People around me weren't doing that. But once I changed the surroundings and I started only consuming, you know, bigger entrepreneurs and being around people like that, that changed my perspective and made me realize what was actually possible, and it made me change my actions to strive for more. Because if you think 10K a month is a lot, then you're going to be striving for 10K a month and you might hit like 7 or 8K. But if you realize that people around you are striving for 100K a day, holy shit. Your perspective is going to be like, bro, that's normal to them? Like, they're talking about 100K a day like that's normal, and I'm over here like stressing about 10K a month. Damn, I got to strive for more. And when you realize there's so much more out there, it's going to change your perception and make you strive for more. The problem is your friend group and the people around you don't realize what's actually possible out there, and you have these small-minded goals. You will never reach a big goal if you have a small mind, and you need to understand that. You cannot get to 100K a month, 100K a day if you're always surrounded by small-minded people. So you either need to, like I said, it's not easy, but I wasn't hanging out with friends. I wasn't going out. I wasn't on bullshit. I had one singular goal, and it was to make this shit work. And I'm telling you, it takes more. Everyone says they're locked in. Bro, there's different levels. Like, I'm telling you, there are levels to this shit. And the problem is you haven't seen the higher levels. You need to see the higher levels, like I was talking about earlier. You need to surround yourself with people that are at those higher levels. Because I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the next goal is 10K a day or 100K a month. But now I need to surround myself with people that are shitting on that. Like, they think it's normal. And that is how you start to rewire your brain, rewire your mind to think more and achieve more. So I'm gonna, by no means am I gonna say it's easy, but if you don't know, the business model that I did it with was affiliate marketing. So, you know, it's UGC, affiliate marketing and stuff like that. But it is just, you know, it's been a crazy journey, bro. Like, this shit started back in summer of 2023. It took me 2 years to hit my first 10K month, when it could have been way faster if I just knew what I knew now. And that's why I'm telling you guys, if I knew what I knew now, it would have been way faster. And I don't have to give you any specific advice. Yeah, if you want advice on making money on a certain business model, that'll help. But the best advice I can give to you is vague advice, or the basic common knowledge is the best advice you can take. Everyone skips over the basics. You skip over the consistency aspect. You skip over the hard work. You skip over the discipline aspect. It takes much harder work than you think. And if I would have known what it takes to get here, and I would have just been doing that from the beginning, I would have got here much faster. If I would have known that I had to cut out all the bullshit, I had to cut out the video games, had to cut off my friends, had to not really talk to anybody, it is a mentally hard thing. Like I'm telling you, even though I'm having the best months of my life, I guess, financially, it's definitely not the best months mentally, because you are like, it's just been solitude the last couple months. It's just been strictly grind, 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 go to the gym, come back and grind. And that's just what it is. But there's sacrifices that you have to take. And I would have got here way faster if I didn't think I could do this over here and do this. I thought I would be able to get to 10K a month just by, I'm working on my business 2 to 3 hours a day. But then I'm coming over here and they're like, yeah, I can get to 10K a month, but I can still play video games. I can still do this. I can still do this. You're going to rationalize in your mind that you can do all these bad habits and still reach your goal. I'm telling you right now, you just can't do it. Like, if you really want the best results, if you want extraordinary results, you need extraordinary inputs, and that's what it takes. So if you guys are grinding right now, I'm telling you, you're not doing enough work and you need to do more. But if you are on that grind, you feel like you're not figuring it out, just continue to keep going, because there's going to be low points. There's going to be times you don't want to work. And I still haven't figured shit out. Like I was saying, 50K a month is a good amount of money, but there's so many higher levels. There's so many higher things to achieve. So it's like, bro, you just have to continue. All I can say is you have to continue to keep going, but don't just bullshit on your journey. Because I spent 2 years bullshitting. I had all these distractions. I was still trying to have this over here and have this. You need a period of time where you can just literally cut everybody off, cut all the distractions out, and just focus on one thing, and you will get there. But stop trying to do this over here and then this and think you can have both at the same time. No, focus on this, cut out all that bullshit off. I know it's difficult. Don't come to me like, bro, but I have this, I have this. I know. I was addicted to going out. I was addicted to being lazy, watching TV shows, playing video games. Like, this was me just a couple months ago. I'm not saying like I haven't always been this locked in. I haven't always been this disciplined, right? I still fight the urge to not go out. I still fight the urge to sometimes do these fun activities. But you have to prioritize your goals over your quick desires. And that is what it takes. But yeah, wrapping up this video, bro. I'm extremely grateful, extremely blessed, but this is simply just the beginning. Like 2026, like I need to go even harder. And it made me realize how many levels there are, So the one lesson I can say is just go harder than you are right now. Focus more on what you want than you are right now. Cut out all the bullshit even more. But yeah, if you guys want any help, fitness, mindset coaching, or, I was thinking about doing maybe help with UGC because, it's just going to be so crazy in 2026. But just follow my Instagram, DM me about any questions that you guys might have, and I appreciate you guys watching.